Dozens of people have been killed in Eastern Europe's worst flooding in more than a century as rising waters engulf more towns across Bosnia and Serbia.
There was no protection for some villages hit by waves of water up to 4 metres high that swept away homes like a tsunami.
3 months' worth of rain have inundated Serbia and Bosnia in just 3 days. It's the worst flooding since records began 120 years ago. Helicopters have rescued scores from rooftops and balconies. Amateur video captured a man's narrow escape as a house literally broke in half and collapsed. The sound of sobbing only begins to chronicle the loss. Rain-swollen rivers have caused more than 200 landslides. Neighborhoods and even whole towns have disappeared before residents' eyes.
This was not snow, it was hail, and in some cases up to 20 centimeters of hail that fell across some of these areas in Sao Paulo. Pretty significant stuff. A piece of hail will get bigger and bigger, and this is huge. Look at that, they had to use bulldozers to move it out. The people still had some of this icy stuff on their lawns the next day.
Take a look at this unbelievable scene. A massive sinkhole in Austin Peay's campus. So far, it has swallowed part of the field and track of Governor's Stadium there.
From Sky 5 HD, you can see just how big the sinkhole is, swallowing a part of the northern end zone and track inside Governor's Stadium. And it all started when it first opened up a few weeks ago.
Fairly small sinkhole, about the size of a desk.
But when crews began the process to stop the hole from growing, it wouldn't. Right now, it could be 30 by 50 feet wide and 40 feet deep.
An unusual phenomenon is happening right now in Marina del Rey. Thousands of dead anchovies and other sea life are floating in the water. The Department of Fish and Wildlife has been called out to investigate.
It's almost intolerable, the smell from thousands of rotting anchovies fouling the waters of Basin A in Marina del Rey.
We had folks here earlier in the morning investigating what may have caused this die-off. I'm told that may be about 70,000 fish. There are many more on the bottom that will likely float to the surface of the water over the next few days. Of course, a lot of residents concerned about the die-off in their backyard. It does not smell good, I can tell you that, and the cleanup likely will last for several more days.
Since then, neighbors say an unusual number of other marine animals have started dying.
See them helpless and you want to go help, and they're fighting to kind of walk and hobble and fall over. It's heartbreaking.
Heartbreaking to Shayu Val, who lives right by the water, and Kerma Boyam Sarmiento, who does too. And both think the anchovy die-off has something to do with these other animals dying.
I kind of wonder if there's something in the water that's killing these animals.
Whatever is happening is unsettling.
It's like a horror show, really.
Today we were reminded that some of the most destructive forces in nature can be stunningly beautiful. Storm chasers captured a supercell thunderstorm yesterday in Wyoming. Their time-lapse video shows the towering storm taking shape.
This is not something from a Hollywood movie, but it looks otherworldly. Check this video out from eastern Wyoming yesterday. This is what storm chasers call a mother ship, a low precipitation supercell. The rotation that you see there caused by strong winds aloft, and it's not hard to imagine how that could drop a tornado down to the ground. That is a warned supercell thunderstorm causing large hail and damaging wind.
California ravaged by fire and drought, and tonight in some communities, people asked to rethink the way they are using water in their daily lives.
After days of battling a raging inferno, firefighters finally containing nearly all the wildfires that last week raged across California. 200 fires in 1 week. In San Diego alone, 27,000 acres burned, 44 homes destroyed. But fire season is just getting started.
We're in a very serious fire season, more serious than we've seen before.
Fueling those flames, California's 2.5-year-long drought.
Rivers and lakes are at record lows. This creek here, bone dry, and red flag warnings are up in 7 other western states.
Parts of the Northeast are cleaning up this morning after strong storms and even a rare tornado. Twister touched down in central Delaware on Thursday. Another possible tornado hit near Albany, New York. Those storms caused heavy damage and some flooding, and that was only part of the trouble along the East Coast.
Tornado in New York, just northwest of Albany only hours ago.
We're getting reports of numerous homes destroyed.
Several damaged homes, at least one destroyed, power lines down, and trees snapped.
We've never had a storm like that right in this area.
Severe storms rocketing across the Northeast, the streets of Reading, Pennsylvania filling with hail. Golf ball size hail from North Wilmington, Delaware to Pennsylvania. Smashing through the skylight at the Berkshire Mall. The storms shutting down train service between Washington, D.C. and Baltimore. The Bay Bridge in Maryland temporarily shut down.
Here it comes, bro!
And in Denver, a third day of tornado warnings. Hail peppering the streets.
Look at this right here. It's a massive fog bank. It almost looks like a huge wave or something because it's just sitting right there on the water. Oh my gosh. That video really tells a story, doesn't it? But it's, again, fog. This was in Lake Michigan. A man was out there fishing when he saw it, apparently getting ready to move right toward him as well. That's incredible video.
Heavy rain and thunderstorms soaked parts of the nation's midsection and the Northeast, delaying the start of the holiday getaway for thousands of people. Here in New York, rain affected not only road travel, but nearly all the flights at 3 major airports.
This line of storms knocked down trees in Richmond, Virginia. Heavy rain flooded part of Interstate 95 in eastern Pennsylvania. Traffic came to a stop because of a hailstorm. The hail knocked out a skylight at a mall. One airliner flew through the storm and landed in Philadelphia.
And take a look at this. Lightning struck the top of the New World Trade Center last night. No damage reported, but it was quite a sight.
Now, this is what you call completely breathtaking. A wall of dust engulfing downtown Reno in Nevada. You can see Reno disappear into the dark as a wall of dust blows into the city. Meteorologists say this is the first dust storm in the area in more than 6 years. Out west, a mountain of dust rolling across the New Mexico highway. Visibility falling to near zero, and 7 vehicles in a chain reaction crash.
A shocking scene as passengers on a Greyhound bus captured the burning wreckage from an 8-vehicle collision on I-10 near Lordsburg yesterday. The crash, caused by a dust storm, left a horrific scene of twisted, blackened metal and 7 badly burned bodies.
I don't recall an accident of this magnitude.
A major downpour like this is said to occur once every 200 years. Friday's downpour caused secondary disasters everywhere, with water levels reaching hazardous levels.
The rainfall, which has continued now for a week, has caused landslides, building collapses and floods across the region.
Since Wednesday, rainstorms in Guangdong have affected 800,000 people.
A huge earthquake has shaken Greece and parts of Turkey. It struck off the coast of Greece in the Aegean Sea at around midday local time, that's 11 o'clock Central European time. The quake was felt in Athens and Istanbul and shook the entire Thrace and Aegean regions. The US Geological Survey put it at 7.2 on the Richter scale.
Unbelievably big. That's how emergency crews describe a massive mudslide on the western slopes of Colorado. 4 miles long, 2 miles wide, and about 250 feet deep. This entire area remains very unstable. Right now, 3 people are missing. One witness said the mudslide sounded like a freight train.
Raging wildfire in Arizona is threatening a popular tourist destination, putting thousands on alert for possible evacuations, with strong winds stoking the flames and more firefighters on the way.
This fire has expanded to nearly 7 miles, exploding tenfold in 24 hours deep inside these canyons. Just listen to the crackle in this time-lapse video on YouTube.
A much larger fire is burning in Alaska, south of Anchorage. 243 square miles have gone up in the Kenai Peninsula. Evacuations were ordered for people in 1,000 homes and businesses.
Back here at home, a twister touched down in North Dakota, injuring some 9 workers at an oil patch near Waterford City.
Look at that! Tornado warning. Yeah. Oh my gosh, dude. What was that? What's that? I know.
Large sinkhole has opened up beneath a $1 million mansion on the New South Wales Central Coast. Neighbours discovered the ground had collapsed beneath the left corner of the Swansea house last night, swallowing the basement and the patio. A disused mine shaft has collapsed beneath the property.